One of my favorite parts of creating any album is the power layout, and I feel like this one's finally getting underway. Last week on the Lazy Scrapbooker's next big project, Jeff and I sorted all the memorabilia. Nicholas demonstrated a textbook yawn, and I set up a Creative Memories 12 by 12 file mate and stored all of the large memorabilia there. We are so organized. On February 21st, I had a busy Friday and I had 4 big tasks to do. First, squeeze in the memorabilia I had left out by accident. Then, lay out 4 pages to use and create for my Fast Page February challenges. Then, film and edit my 2 instructional videos for those Fast Page February challenges that were due the next morning. And finally, gather enough materials to use for about 6 to 8 pages so I can teach a power layout class on Sunday while creating some of the power layout for the albums. When we left off, I had completed the first of the 4 tasks by inserting the missing memorabilia into the first pages I had already scrapbooked. Now, let's see how the rest of that busy Friday went. Hi, I'm Donna Guest, the Lazy Scrapbooker and Creative Memories Advisor. Thanks for joining me for another big project. I'm going to plan, organize, and create a pair of scrapbooks to celebrate my husband and son's 15-day road trip, their baseball blowout. So now I'm setting up the power layout here on the pool table, and left side is always a divider and right side is always a new album page because that's when you're going to need it. This is the stack of what we've already done, and I've stacked up there all neatly in order. And here we're starting on the next pages. So I had 8 photos left from that museum tour, and here are 4, and here are 4. That was pretty easy. Now we'll move on to the game they saw on day 2, and we'll start here. So first I have journaling already. Hope that fits. If it doesn't, I'll just have to reprint that. I've got it saved on the computer. So we'll start there, and now let me grab the photos. Okay, that's everything from the game and the rest of day 2. My outline says that I have 8 photos, and I estimated 2 pages for that. That, of course, doesn't count the memorabilia, but 8 photos is definitely 2 pages, and nice, clean 2 pages for one event. And I am definitely a 4 photos to a page kind of girl. So we'll have tickets here. Got my journaling, and let's see what we can do with photos. That's not 8 photos, it's 9 photos. I don't know why, but I have this extra photo when they got to their destination at the end of the night, their hotel. Here's the hotel. Here's the little card to show where they stayed. So those are separate. Maybe the journaling can go with that. Am I adding pages already? Am I doing that? I think this journaling is best as a summary with the end of day 2. Let's wrap it up like that. I'll show you what I've got now. There's the 2 pages for the game. I've got 3 photos and the tickets, and then 5 photos over here. Now, I am going to add some papers most likely because I did learn when I did the big album for Jeff's retirement that it was taking me forever every time I had to go find papers. So I aim to add some papers here. Now right here, I've got the next page on the left, and it's basically a wrap up of day 2, showing their destination, a little bit of journaling about that day as well. And right here, we're going to start on page 3, and perhaps this is our page 3 summary if they've got some pictures. Let's see what we've got. Day 3 was a big day. They went to York, the Central Market, Wellspring Park, Fire Museum, and they went to Amish country, and then they went to see the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. I swear, minor league teams have the best team names. So I've got to go ask about this picture. It appears to be the Tin Man sitting on a wheel, and Nathaniel is posing next to it. I'm going to need more information. I got an answer. So I showed it to Nathaniel, and I said, do you know what this is? And he went, it's the Tin Man, obviously. So then I found Jeff, and this is in York. So this helps me because they just have a few little pictures of the beginning of day 3 in York before they went to the Fire Museum, and that is the majority of their photos. So that kind of helps me knowing what this is, just to kind of do a few little random photos at the beginning of day 3 where I'm going to show the summary of what happened that day, and then we'll get into the regular photos. And look what I almost forgot again. Almost left it out. I had to go to the FileMate and get the large memorabilia. So here it is. The reason I realized, and I was like, where's my Post-it note that says day 3 that I can put here? Okay, so that really helped. I'm able to put these random photos here around the York area, and then I will have maybe some more, and then they went to look at Wellspan Park where they weren't seeing a game, and then we get into the Fire Museum. So the first large piece of memorabilia is the Fire Museum. That's gonna fit nicely in there. I may be able to cut that up. I don't know, we'll see. Or no, I'll use the Creative Memories brochure pockets, yay! Then the larger memorabilia is right here. So it doesn't go with these photos yet, and I will say the only thing better than the names of minor league teams are the names of Amish towns. I love that the first page of this brochure is dedicated to the speculation behind the name. It's not what I thought it was. I feel like this travel guide may have some good stuff in it, but it's going to be like I find it later after I've already scrapbooked those pages. So I may ask Jeff if he has a moment just to skim through this and to see if there's anything that is a place they went and to tear it out for me. Okay, so I've got the first part of day 3 done here, and those 9 photos and brochure fit nicely on this 2-page spread here. And I'll tell you, while I love to put a lot of photos on pages, it does kind of keep a leash on your scrapbooking a little bit because there's not a lot of fun, fancy things that you can do. But again, I'm a simple scrapbooker, and this is an album for guys. They don't care about all the cute punches I have or the fun borders that I can make. They just love the pictures and the memorabilia and the stories. So I'm going to keep focusing on that and get lots of photos on the pages. All this so far, I have identified this layout and this layout to be my subjects for my Fast Page February challenges 7 and 8. Those don't have a ton of pictures on them, and they don't have any memorabilia, so they'll be easier for the participants in my challenge to relate to those and kind of duplicate the layout I'm going to create. And it gives me a little bit more room to show the actual layout without cramming so many photos on the pages like I'm going to do on these others. So since that deadline is quickly approaching and I've got to design it, film it, edit the film, and schedule the post for tomorrow morning, I'm going to stop what I'm doing here and I'm just going to go work on those 4 pages. So hey, great news, I'm going to get 4 pages done. They're in the middle of this, so I'm going to leave everything right here so that I don't confuse myself. And then after that, I'll come back. I just had to interrupt everything because I realized it's 20 minutes before 5 and I've got to get this package to the post office. It's a sale from my online store. I'm going to add to this military page where they were at a museum some dog tags. So I've cut a 2-inch strip wide of platinum shimmer paper, and I'm going to use this beautiful tag punch, the 3-in-1 tag punch at the 2-inch mark. You know how these work? If you've never seen these, occasionally we'll have these punches available where it does 3-in-1, 1-inch, 2-inch, or 2.5 inches. So it shows you where to line up your paper. This is the 1-inch, this is the 2-inch, and this is 2.5. All right, so I punched that one. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side here, and then I'll cut these to size. And how big is a normal dog tag? How long should this be? Let's see. I'm going to say about 2.5 inches looks like the right height. Okay. So I'm going to come over here to where the top edge is at 2.5 inches. Let's make it 3. I'm gonna do this again. Ooh, get that kitty away from that. That's dangerous. These photo trimmers are so sharp. All right, so we're gonna leave the top at 3 inches. And always leave your arm of this photo trimmer down, just to be safe. Okay, I'm gonna round these corners like a dog tag. I think they're rounded. And we're going to make an embellishment out of these. And then I'm going to make just a little fat 1/8 of an inch here and see if I can make a chain. I don't know. Bet I can. It's going to be straight. It's not going to be curvy, but... Oh, I love this. I love this. That's cool. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to snip this off. All right, and we're going to apply some adhesive. I'm going to use the mini tape runner just to make sure. So I like the position I've got on this. I'm going to flip it over to the back and just kind of cross the mini tape runner. Oops, it's so hard to get this. Oh God, it's so hard to get this straight. I did not get it straight. I got it hanging off, so let me just flip that in. Actually, I'm going to use some regular tape runner and kind of go across the edge. Just keeps those together in the same spot. And then we're going to tuck this under here. I've got that there. I'm going to tuck this under there. I gotta say, that's cute. Occasionally, I will have a clever idea. Okay, I got this challenge done, and I just love how these dog tags turned out. I don't know if we're gonna leave them how they are or write something on them, but they're so cute. Ooh, maybe I should pop it up with a foam square. I think I will. Just to give that one a little more height. I love it even more now. Earlier tonight, it took Jeff just about 3 minutes to pull these out of that travel guide that I'd given him of the places they visited while in Pennsylvania. So I'll look through these. I may use some of it, and if not, I'll just toss it. But I will need to determine where this is going to go in the large file bait so that it's at least with the right stuff and has a chance of being used. I did finish my 2 layouts that I needed for my last Fast Page February challenges. My videos are done and edited and scheduled for in the morning. But I still need to figure out what I'm going to do for my class on Sunday when I teach the power layout. So I have tomorrow. I've got a really busy day tomorrow because I've got to pack up everything I need in this basement to take to the crop. But it's a small crop, and then I'll have this class, so I'll get it done. But I just kind of like to go to bed. It's almost midnight. So I think I'm going to just leave this here on the pool table for the night and get back to it tomorrow. My crop on Sunday was a small event, so I could also teach the power layout class. I had photos, memorabilia, and paper ready to lay out about 8 pages during my demonstration. The class was great, and I actually got 11 pages laid out and back in the power layout box, where they sat until... Yeah, so that was basically yesterday. It's been 11 days since I had the power layout class, and I feel like I've gone from one event to the other and had so many things going on that I just kind of set aside and didn't do it until now. So now I've got a whole weekend that I can work on this and a couple of other projects that I've got to do for a video for the Savvy Scrapbookers and a fun project playbook for Creative Memories. And today it's already pretty late. I just got back from an event where I had a vendor spot. I spent the day at the International Women's Day Braves Bazaar at Truist Park, home of the Atlanta Braves. It was a fun day, and I met lots of really nice people and potential new customers. I had dinner, unloaded my supplies, made sure Nicholas was comfy on my bed, even turning the TV on for him to his favorite program, because that's how you spoil a deaf cat. And it was downstairs to work on the project and this week's episode. So I'm finally going to get these out of the box. I hope I can remember what's what. But that's the great thing about a power layout is you really don't have to because they're going to be in order, and I'm going to be able to show you exactly what we did during the power layout class. Okay, so here's the box that I just got out of my bag, and I'm going to go ahead and open this up. All right, here's what we did. I should be able to figure this out pretty easily. These are my cards, my index cards where I had the photos that we're going to do. I ended up doing basically day 3, laying that out. I'm just going to grab everything out and push the box aside. Extra page in the front, some embellishments. This is a button. I can't scrapbook that. Extra divider. Oh, the very important outline. Don't want to lose that. I had papers in here that I was using to add to the pages because I definitely wanted to do that, but I also wanted to demonstrate doing that. Okay, still a lot of empties. All right, here we go. So here's what I've got. I'm going to go ahead and lay this out so that it makes sense. All right, so check it out. This is what I did during the class, and I laid out 11 pages. Usually it's not this many, but one of my students was running a little bit late during traffic, so I saved some pages for her so I could get the other one started, and it worked out great that way. So we started with the notion that I was going to do, here's what I thought I was going to do for day 3. 1 initial page, which I don't have represented here. 1 page for York, 1 page for the York Central Market, 1 page for this park, 2 pages for the Fire Museum, 2 pages for Amish Country, and then 4 pages for the game. That's a total of 12 pages for day 3 is what I anticipated. So here's what I actually have. So here's my first page for day 3. It hasn't been done yet. And then we flip this over. Whoops. Then I did these 2 in York. Okay, so that's 3 pages. Then we go to the power layout. 3 plus 11 is 14. So already I have added 2 pages to day 3. If I keep that up, there's 15 days. That'd be 30 additional pages. And looking at the number here, 148 is what I anticipated. If I added 30 pages to that, that's going to be 178 pages. It's still doable, but it's really full. So I'm going to have to keep that in check and really get this power layout done instead of keeping just doing pages here and there, because that can get out of control. And as you see, I also have a lot of holes here and there where I haven't done this page or I haven't done that page. That gets a little confusing. I need to get these into an album instead of just carrying them around like that, because you know what's going to happen? They're going to get out of order somehow. So I need to get them all done. I'm leaving holes too many places, and get them into some album. I've got plenty of stray albums laying around here that I can at least put them into for now. So in my first session of the Power Layout class, we were going to do pretty much 4 pages, but it ended up being 6, I think, because here's what we had. We had the Fire Museum, which I was going to do on 2 pages, but after laying them out, and you can see what I have here, I have 2 pieces of paper that I thought would go nicely with these colors. I have a brochure, I have those 2 pictures. I actually set them down here and confused myself for a minute. And then I have these 3 pictures here. Then I have 4 pictures here. So that's a lot to put on 2 pages when I started to think about it. You know, that is, let's see, 7, 8, 9 photos plus a brochure. It could be done, but I spread it out a little bit because of what was coming. And that's the beauty of the power layout, because when we got to the next topic, it got even more difficult to cram those onto 2 pages. So instead, we spread the Fire Museum out onto 3. I have a Post-it note right there that says brochure pocket. That's what I'm going to put that in, because Creative Memories does have brochure pockets, and I have some here. Then I put a note, any more firefighter stickers? You know, actually all the leftover firefighter stickers for Jeff's retirement album, and I didn't use a lot of them because they're just too cutesy for actual firefighting. They'd be great here on this museum page, but I think I bundled them all up and sold them at a crop in my sale table. So probably gonna see if I have any more. That'd be cute. If not, it's no big deal. And then here's the last page of the Fire Museum. And as you can see, I just have 3 sheets of paper among these 3. Is that all I'll need? I don't know. Will I have more than I need? Perhaps. But I will have the complementing colors and those paper packs right there next to me when I'm scrapbooking. And I had those over here, these gradient papers. Here's the black, the brown, the red. I'll have those with me when I'm scrapbooking these. And if I need some extra, I'll have it. Then we go to our next topic, the Village of Intercourse. Oh, how fun, Amish country. So we have a brochure and the 2 photos there. And then we come down here, and then we're just random photos. We've got 4 photos here and 4 photos here. So that would have been a lot, 10 photos in a brochure. Again, a lot to get on 2 pages. So, and I have to credit my customer, Kira, who was in the class, who said, why don't we just spread this out? Wise words, exactly. So we did that, and it makes sense because I don't have to have matchy-matchy pages, but what I did do, these are 2 different topics on a 2-page spread. I do have similar paper designs there, just different colors. That made me feel a little bit better about it, but it doesn't bother me. And then the next topic was going to be the game, and I was supposed to have 4 pages for the game. So let's see what we ended up with. I've got these 4 pictures. These 3 pictures seem to have to all be together because, you know, it's the same thing. Them posing and those little things that you put your face in, you know, and they have all the pictures there. So I'm putting those together. Then we come down here, and they're actually in the ballpark now. And so just 3 pictures on a page, I better do something cute on that page. I better use that space wisely. And then 4 pictures at the end, and they're back in the hotel room. And I put a Post-it note, fireworks punch, I've got that one. So use that here. And then I put a note, pocket page. So this is going to be one of our top loading slide-in pocket pages. And I'm going to scrapbook on one side of the page, one sheet, slide that in. And then on the other side, this is the right side, you can tell right by that right there. And then we're going to come over to the left side, which is going to be the back of that pocket page. And I've got all this stuff from that game. All of that will just slide right into a pocket page. There we go. And then over here, we'll be ready to start with day 4. So it's been 11 days since my power layout class when I laid all this out with the class attendees, and it went straight into that box, and now this is the first time it's seen the light of day since then. And it was so easy just to pull that out and know exactly where I was, and here is how. Because I kept everything in order, stacked top to bottom, and you can see what's left and what's right. You see that little tab over there? I know that means the left-hand side. And because I scrapbook on traditional album pages, the page is the right-hand side. If you always use pocket pages, you could just use another one of these, but you would put it like this for the right-hand side. And so that helps me know they were all stacked in order. And I put Post-it notes, because do you think I would have remembered all this? Absolutely not. And why make myself have to figure that out again? So that's a good system. Keep everything in order, left side, right side, stack it top to bottom. So this one's on top, and then this one all the way down. This one's on bottom. And then Post-it notes to let you know what you're going to be doing. What I need to do, though, is update my outline. I need to have a new column here that is the actual pages, not estimated, but the actual pages I've done, and kind of total it up and see where I'm at there. Because again, I'm kind of concerned that the way I'm going, I keep adding a page here and there. Instead of 2, it's 3. If I do that too much, I'm going to need 3 albums, and I am not going to make this 3 albums. So I've got to get myself in check here and do the power layout and keep everything to 2 albums. So I've got this all stacked up, and before I forget, my last page was on the left-hand side. So what I'm going to do now, as I continue, is start on the right-hand side. There are my staples right there. That's a right-hand side. And then I'll come over here and put one down for the left-hand side, and then continue on with the right-hand side. So now, hey, I'm ready for 3 more pages, but that will help me remember where I'm supposed to start. So at the computer, I'm doing just what I said I was going to do. I have added a column for actual number of pages, and let's see where we end up. Okay, that was helpful. So in the first 3 days of the trip, because that's what I've done for the power layout, the estimated number of pages was going to be 28. The actual number of pages, 34. That's a little bit of a difference. I love Excel, so I did some quick math. That is a 21% increase over what I thought it was. Now, if I took that same percentage increase and did it for my estimated 148 pages, guess what? We get 179 pages. That's what I said earlier. If I continue to add, if I add 30 pages, it's so fun when numbers work out like that. So, could I do 2 albums with 179 pages? Let's round up to 180. That is 90 pages, and a Creative Memories album will hold 96 pages. That's 48 sheets, 96 pages. But then again, they're going to be really heavy. So I've got to keep this under control. So at a minimum, by adding those 6 pages, I'm at 154 pages if everything else goes as I've anticipated. And it's not going to. I think we all know that. So I'm going to have to get ready for some big albums, and the only way I can stop that from happening is the power layout. I don't know if I can get started on that today. First, I've got to finish this video. It's due tomorrow night at 8 p.m. and right now it is 9:30 on Thursday. So I filled in the rest of the actual number of pages column with red numbers that are anticipated. So again, there's my 154 that we're at now. So I think it's time to print out a new copy. So from the outline, I can tell the next part of my power layout is going to be the Boston trip. So yeah, I'm going to let that wait until I can have a good night's sleep, because the Boston trip that I was on with them has so many pictures that I'm going to need my wits about me for that one. You know that part of me really wants to start this power layout right now for Boston and beyond, but I'm just really, really tired. So let me get a good night's sleep, and I promise not to leave all this in the box for yet another 11 days. I can't, because there's another episode in a week. See, that's the great thing about this series. It is keeping me on track. I would not have done this much if I hadn't been filming this series. I can promise you that. So as we saw, my current challenge is using up all that wiggle room that I had. I keep saying, oh, I've got wiggle room. I can add a page here and there, which I've been doing at a rate of 21% extra. I do love numbers. If I keep that up, it will work, but it will result in 2 really, really thick albums. And I don't want that. They're hard to manage. And I do know that your album really shouldn't be more than 8 pounds. So just as I did for May and October of 2024, I have nicknamed March Crazy March. Maybe Mad March would be better. I don't know. It's Crazy March. I had to really just list everything out that's on my calendar this month. I've got some kind of event every single week. Here's my goal. Now for this project, instead of one big goal that I had for Jeff's albums for his retirement, which was have them by his retirement party on April 1st, which I did. But unlike that project that had that hard deadline, this one I'm just taking it in bite-sized deadlines, little bite-sized goals, which I think if you don't have a hard and fast deadline, that's the way to do it. It's just a little more manageable that way. So my next goal, little bite-sized goal, is that I've got 2 retreats coming up in March. First, in 2 weeks, I leave to go to an advisor retreat where I'll get a little bit of scrapbooking done. I'm also doing a presentation there, which is fun. So that takes some time, but I've got to prepare for that too. That's also on the Crazy March calendar. So I want to have my power layout done before I go to that retreat. I don't plan on finishing the album at that retreat by any means. I mean, I might get 30 pages done. You know, there's a lot of classes, there's a lot of chatting. I got a big mouth, I talk a lot. And then the following weekend, I am hosting my own retreat, and I'll get a little bit of scrapbooking done there, a little bit. I want to have the power layout done for that as well. So let's think, how many days away is that? 14 days. So we've got our work cut out for us. Thank you so much again for watching this week, and I can't wait to see what we get done next week. There's lots to do.